Dear Harstem, I'm a huge fan of your IODIS series. I think I did everything I could, but I still lost this game. Protoss is just broken. My opening build did not work well, but I took out the Protoss third base in the mid game. However, the opponent produced zealots like they were free, and HTs were like harvest knives reaping my bio. Even though I used EMP to counter them, the disruptors beat the crap out of me. I think I am like a desperate marine nailed in the coffin, and 6 zealots are doing the coffin dance. Best wishes, vegetable. Alright, vegetable. We are about to find out what type of vegetable there are. Whether you are a carrot, a tier A vegetable, or something similar to a tomato, which is a lower tier vegetable. Some people even consider it a fruit. And everyone knows that fruits are worse than vegetables. Let's have a look to see if zealots are Imba, if high templars are Imba, and if disruptors really beat the crap out of you. Or perhaps it might have to do something with your skill level. So let's start where we always start, and that is the build order. Or well, this thing. So he opens with a full wall. This is a little trick that a lot of the Terrans have been using, where you full wall and then it's very difficult for Protoss to kind of figure out what's going on, you know? That's nice. I don't mind that. Now, one of the things that it's nice about is that you can get a pretty fast factory, and the timing of the factory there becomes pretty important. So you want to get the factory down ASAP. I know I skipped back into the replay, but just to show you guys that he had a decent amount of gas stacked up before he built the factory. That's not quite what you want to be doing. He had 34 gas, so not too tight there in the build order, my friend. You gotta really, when you play a build order like this, tightness of timing is absolutely everything. And well, you were about as tight as the face of a 55-year-old. Unless they use Botox, most of the time that's a little loose. Sorry for all the 55-year-olds out watching. Shout out to you. Well, my boy Vegetable going back with that SCV now as well. And what? Okay, he's probably gonna proxy a starport. Okay, it's an interesting path he's taking. Okay, yeah, here we go. Factory hasn't finished yet, so the proxy starport is most likely gonna be in time. Reaper goes across the map. Well, it's not gonna pull a casually explained there and just pops into the main base. You want to get a scout on what type of tech there is, maybe get 1 or 2 probes, so this is all looking pretty fine right now. Proxy starport with triple Hellion. Honestly, I'm liking this. I'm liking this as a start for our boy Vegetable here. He's looking damn fine. This is some eggplant level decisions here. My Vegetable man. 2 gateways from the Protoss. Well, let's just say that this Protoss is lucky that he isn't the one that sent in the replay, because I'd have a thing or two to say about him. Now, the one thing that always bothers me whenever people play this type of build order is that they don't actually know how many resources they need at all. Like, they just... What is this? Supply block into the double medevac queue. I was like, hey, I was gonna complain about his resources, and he realized that. I was like, let me just queue up 2 medevacs so it looks like I actually macroed well. So whenever people do aggressive builds that open 2 gas, they never think of how many workers they need to put in gas. Sometimes it's fine that after you start your first factory, you don't need to keep 3 workers. Just pull out 2 workers, get a little more minerals so you can afford a faster command center. Because in this case, he's floating, let's be well here, he's floating 320 gas, which that could have been minerals and that could have been basically a command center at this point, or could have been pretty close to a command center. So just something to keep in mind there, Vegetable, but I'm not gonna blame you too much for that. So far, it's almost a build order. I've seen worse. I've seen a lot better, but I've also seen worse, which we're focusing on positives. I'm a changed man. I went on a small holiday. I came back refreshed. I'm like, I don't want to be the same old negative guy, just complains about everything. I'm relaxed. I'm calm. I have a high tolerance for crap, like the things you're pulling here right now. So let's see how long that will last. No. First medevac is about to pop out. One of the many things you want to do, of course, is that whenever your medevac pops out, you want to have it lined up with your 3 Hellions being there. So your timing is tight, right? You want to be able to drop into the main base as soon as possible with 3 Hellions. Now, a funny thing about this build order is that I faced this build order before with the no CC, and I know the fastest timing at which it can hit. The fastest timing at which it can hit is 3 minutes and 34 seconds. Our friend Vegetable here is hitting a full minute too late. No, that's not true. Only hits 57 seconds too late. So that is honestly not that bad. I lied there with a minute. Only 57 seconds, but that's okay. As you can see, instead of there only being 3 units, right now there's, well, closer to what seems like, why can't I count? 8 units. 6 Stalkers and 2 Sentries. 8 units. So that's about a 5 unit difference. Which, you know, that usually whenever you do a timing attack, one of the most important things of the timing attack is to actually hit at a timing. It's kind of in the word there, where if you're just randomly attacking at, you know, at any given time, it's not really a timing anymore, it's just a move out. What Vegetable did here was a move out. He moved out without there really being any sense of timing. He's been behind in income for quite some time, or at least behind in worker. He's not behind in income at the moment because the probes all transferred to the main, but he should be behind in income. His CC is very late, and his follow-up is, well, I mean, it's fine. Like, getting 2 racks is fine. The problem is his CC is just very late, so his eco kind of sucks. No eBay yet either, so upgrades are not really going to be a thing so far in this game for our boy Vegetable. And he's still just down 11 workers. He killed 3 workers. And I have a feeling that 2 of those workers killed were with a Reaper. So basically, what Vegetable did, he delayed his CC by 3 minutes to throw away 3 Hellions into 8 gateway units. That is the state of the game so far. So could we consider this as Vegetable outplaying his opponent so far? No, not really. I don't think that would be a fair characterization of this game so far. I think Vegetable has been making some mistakes in the build order. He's been making some mistakes in the control of the drop. And he's been making some mistakes in his follow-up as well. I guess that kind of counts as the build order. But, you know, we're still in a good mood. The holiday spirit is high. And maybe he can redeem himself. You know, a couple of good drops. A couple of nice move-outs here. I mean, we're all gonna be fine, Mr. Vegetable. We're all gonna be fine. No, I won't even blame you for what happened in the early game. If from now on you start playing very well, we get an eBay, starting to get upgrades, you know. I'm seeing this game with rose-tinted glasses. You know, everything's looking pretty for me. Everything is looking beautiful. Double forward from the other guy is actually playing pretty well. I didn't like his opener very much, but he's doing some solid moves, man. A little bit of chrono boost saving up, but you never know when you're gonna need it. So just saving for the Great Depression. Here's our boy Vegetable. He's starting to macro up as well, you know. He's producing some workers again. Yeah. This game definitely has some potential. A couple of medevacs will be used soon, and we're gonna have a move out. I guess when Stim in Combat finishes and 2 more medevacs, something like that. Now, the thing you want to do as a Terran is first of all, you want to get your medevacs basically the moment your starport is ready. So you can, even if your Stim in Combat isn't finished, you can start moving out a bit. You can start pushing forward and push these Stalkers back a bit, because most of the time there's going to be Blink, right? And in that case you do want to be pushing that back. Another thing you can do to keep Stalkers at home is to send the Raven like this. So you just go to the right side and you start harassing a bit with a Raven, or you send it over here, you start harassing, and then you fly it into the mountain, and from the mountain you can put a turret here, you can put a turret here. You force a lot of units to be left behind. Now, if any race is broken here, boys, what is this? He's gonna pull SCVs? Oh no, Vegetable. You gotta be kidding me. This also is a classic move, by the way. Just imagine the mental gymnastics of this one. It's like, let me build a 3rd CC and then pull all the workers on my natural. It's like this is the triple mule mindset, is what I call it. It's where you just build a command center to throw down some mules. I'm absolutely loving this. He didn't even pull all of his SCVs, he just put like, it's like 10, you know? Doesn't even have the balls to really commit. Ah, that's so sad. It's like, mate, you've been together with your girlfriend for 5 years now. Maybe it's time, you know? Maybe it's time to really commit, but no, you keep talking to your side piece, you know? Just making sure to have something in case it goes, what? No, just commit for once in your life to something vegetable. What is this? You can't just walk on the map with 12 SCVs for a minute and a half, chasing back the blink stalkers. What happened with the Raven? I love this. He really has commitment issues, I think. Oh man, I'm glad I'm not his girlfriend or boyfriend. That'd be messed up. That would truly be messed up. Honestly, his supply isn't even that bad, but it's because our Protoss friend is floating 2k minerals. 3 tanks are in a good position. This is a beautiful stim. Now this is what I want to see up close. These Templar, you know? I feel like these Templar might be a key factor in this game. I just have a weird feeling that our boy Vegetable might have some trouble. Oh, no, this is looking good. What the hell? This is a good job so far, Vegetable. I mean, he only has a single upgrade. And sure, his opponent is floating some money. Vegetable only has 45 SCVs and rallying Liberators across the map in some weird attempt to siege this third. But, I mean, his micro against Storm has been absolutely A-class so far. As in that not a single Storm tick has hit anything. And this Nexus is falling quick. Man, our boy Vegetable with the commitment issues here is making some real plays. With the classic Icy Storm, so I'm not going to send any units forward at all. I love it when Terrans... This is so cool. Okay, look at this move. So what he's doing, he's pre-splitting his units in a good way, right? But because he's a Terran player, the only hotkey he uses is F2. So whenever he actually starts moving forward, the pre-split is gonna be useless again. This is really a classic. Actually, it doesn't do it this time. That's a bit sad. Can't believe I paused for that. Yeah, a couple of storms on all of the tanks together, but honestly not the worst fight. Man, this guy really is proving me wrong in every possible way. Vegetable. He's pre-splitting and leaving the pre-splits. He's pretty much won this game, honestly. I don't... Like, his opponent still has 3k in the bank, because he forgot the macro for the past 5 minutes. How many gates does he have? 8 gates. He should be able to produce stuff. And he literally has no units. It's like 6 Templar, 6 Stalkers, and 7 Zealots. So what you do in this case is you send your Marauders forward, you right-click this base, and you win the game. Yeah, just like that. And then you can send a couple of Marauders forward to kill these. Did he send a replay in which he wins? That would be so sick and a massive waste of my time. Writes a juicy description. Then just absolutely stomps his opponent. You see, he even has more money at this point. And he's still not really transitioning, but he's getting +1 armor. I'm sure the macro isn't looking too hot, and sure the worker production stopped at the 5-minute mark. These are all things we can complain about, but at the end of the day, a win is a win, you know? It doesn't really matter how you get it. If your macro sucks and you don't get upgrades, your unit control is mediocre, and you don't have any worker production, that all might sound bad, but I mean, if you win, you win. Oh! A perfect drop as well into the main base. Hello, how about we unload everything? No? Okay, yeah, there. I actually have no clue how Vegetable is gonna lose this. I mean, he literally just killed everything. Even though this fight wasn't insanely good, it still was good enough because, I mean, Vegetable has 2k minerals, or 1.7k minerals at this point. He has pretty decent production, and he has 4, he should have 5 racks, right? Yeah, there's 5 racks. He has a starport, he can build tanks. He can go into 2-2. All he really needs to do at this point is spend his money Get his gas production going. I mean, there is gas mining going. I mean, there's really no gas mining over there. Fort base. I'm not a big fan of that, but the problem really is that he's only building 3 units at a time, even though he has 5 barracks and a factory. Which usually, if you kill a third base of your opponent and take a decent fight, it's wise to try to spend all your money. No armory, no second eBay. These are also mistakes. The longer the game goes and you're on low upgrades, that usually kind of sucks for you. There is no big ghost thing. Enhanced shockwave, it's called actually. It's the proper name for it. Let's use it for once. The big ghost thingy. Actually impies everything. The perfect play. So now, something that sounds very tempting here for vegetable is to chase this army as you've just gotten basically perfect EMPs. And it makes some sense. I don't have too many issues with it. The only issue I have with it is that his army actually isn't that big, because right now he's loading, well, 4.2k resources. He actually is gonna do well for a bit, but in the end he's gonna get blasted. I mean, there's +2 armor. Wait, what was his complaint about? He complained about Zealots and High Templars. He's losing the game to Archons and Stalkers. Even though in theory the Archons did come from High Templars, I was believing that Storm was gonna be the broken factor, you know, but in reality the real issue here is the 3.5k minerals in the bank. I always like to translate minerals into supply, and the easiest way to do it is to pick Marines, obviously. Marine is 50 minerals and 1 supply. So if you think of a 2.5k bank, that would be 50 supply that you could have added in pure Marine. Isn't that great how that works? 50 supply? Yeah, that's correct. So basically, our boy Vegetable should be at around 150 supply right now. Or well, 160, 170 supply. On top of that, he's finally getting his 2-2 actually, which is good. He's getting a fort base. Like, the production tab is looking a little healthier now, but I still feel like his production overall has been lacking a little bit. I wouldn't mind him adding a tank here and there, just to spend some of his money, or even just to go back in, or to go into Widowmine production. I won't say go back, but you can only go back into some type of production if you've done it before, and he definitely didn't produce Widowmines before. Now his upgrades and everything are quite late. He's a bit oversaturated on the third, but that shouldn't really ruin the party. He scans forward. I mean, Enhanced Shockwave is done. So at this point I feel like once again we're in this situation where Vegetable is really in a nice spot. I feel like he's been in a nice spot for the past 5 minutes. He's even produced some workers. He's transferring them now. Like, he's kind of looking healthy, honestly. Wait, is that what? The good old medevac rally across the map. Also really a classic. The flanking ghost with 2 more medevacs. So you would think if he hits this EMP once again, that would be good enough. I think it might... what are the upgrades? 3-2 against 1-1. So our boy Vegetable here hitting just before his own 2-2 finishes against a 3-2 army. Now, if we put some quick math onto the case here, we see that 3-2 against 1-1, that is a 3 upgrade lead. Yes, that's a 3 upgrade lead for the Protoss player, in a situation where the army supply was even. So even if you hit the perfect EMP, the fight still is gonna go terrible. On top of that, our boy Vegetable still floating like he's saving for the next financial crisis. Yeah, this is not looking too good, my boy Vegetable. This is not looking too good at all here, my friend. I mean, you really did try hard. I believe him, you know. The reason I knew that he was trying so hard was because he was only focusing on one thing, and that was moving around with his army. At the start he was so focused on executing the build order, he kind of forgot to hit the timing. Yeah, you sometimes just have that, you know? Where it's like, man, I really want to execute this build order, and then you're so tunnel vision on just building things that you completely forget to actually line up things like Hellions moving out for the medevac, your factory when you get 100 gas. You focus so much that you don't see the goal anymore. That's kind of what happened here with vegetables. You know, we give him an A for effort so far, but the execution has been lacking. I was going into my end game rant, but it seems like this game just never ends. That's nice. It's a bit like life. Just keeps going on and on. Absolutely beautiful. 157 supply against 117. I mean, I feel like our boy Vegetable still actually has a chance. This is the thing that always ticks me off. Whenever I do any of these replays, it doesn't even matter what, honestly. Whenever I do one of these replays, I just look at it and go, at this point, you could give this to a player with a brain, and he'd probably still be able to win. And it doesn't even matter what league the player with the brain is. I know for a fact there's 50 guys in the comments right now that are going, man, I'm bronze 7 and I would definitely be able to win this situation. He didn't hit a single EMP, he's floating constantly 5k minerals. I agree with the guys in the comments, man. These guys are definitely right. This is a sick drop. This is gonna be the first successful multitask that we're gonna see from Vegetable. Now we're gonna follow these 2 medevacs because this is really exciting. We've seen him attempt 2 drops before. One over... Actually, no, he did a drop in the main base. But that wasn't a multitask. That was just a complete army drop. Let's see what these 2 medevacs are going to do. We're not going to pay attention at all to the fight. We're just going to look at these drops. This is the multitask that Terrans are so well known for. Look at these guys. This is really always one of the key things. Come on, Vegetable. Do you remember? Yes, he does. That's beautiful. We're actually seeing some multitask, man. Every time I'm about to make fun of him for something, he actually does it well. This guy is absolutely ruining my show. Oh, drop actually does a lot of damage. Pretty proud of that. It's not even really... That's some first person view here. Picks up the medevacs, flies away. Ooh. Sees a single zealot, moves there with his entire army. Sensible, sensible. 12 DTs move in. What's the reaction time on the repair? It's just not in time. Slightly too slow, but can't blame him for that. This planetary survives. I can't believe we're actually going into a longer game. I really thought the game was over. Oh man, I should start preparing for these. No, another scan. And a recall. Alright, alright. Now, if we take a look at the situation, let's just pause and take a step back. You always gotta do this. So, what do we have here for the Protoss? We have an army that is extremely susceptible to any type of EMP. Doesn't really deal well with higher Liberator numbers either. Usually Colossi are good against Liberators or Tempest, but Colossi Stalker is good because you can kind of kill stuff that's in the Liberator zone and try to blink forward. Like Colossus Stalker Disruptor is a really nice composition for that. There's no Colossi here, which means that in theory with just pure Lib, Ghost, Marauder you can do it. Or if you have good micro, just Mass Marauder with a bunch of Ghost also actually beats this army because you can EMP everything, then kite back forever. Splitting with Marauder is relatively easy as well. So that's the type of fight that definitely can be won. This base is gonna die to a couple of zealots. We have the drop coming back once again. It does die this time, but actually creates some space. So this was a nice move. Now, the final fight is, well, the final fight. I assume this is going to be one of the final fights. It's going to be the most important. So we see the disruptors coming in. The scan is on the disruptors. Okay, that's one. Do we get any more? Okay, only one major shot gets hit. Not a single EMP has been cast. Okay, there, EMP. Now, of course, on the entire army. Fight, actually. Not going too poor, even though he took a full disruptor hit to the face. Still floating a solid 2k resources as well. Slight overstimming. I have to admit, man, this game is becoming really tight. I thought we were just going to be making fun of Vegetable, but this game is pretty exciting actually. And it's not exciting as in a Formula 1 race, you know? This is more where your neighborhood boy in his soapbox car against another neighborhood boy in his soapbox car, both built in a day and a half, and when turning the first corner, both the wheels fall off, and now both of them are just pushing their body forward, trying to make their soapbox advance. And even though it's kind of a train wreck to watch, you just still keep watching because you're curious if your 7-year-old neighbor on the right side or your 12-year-old neighbor on the left side is going to have more power in his body to push the soapbox forward. So this is kind of what you're looking at here, just to give a little bit of perspective to this game. So there's only really a single disruptor left. If that doesn't hit a massive shot, I mean, the upgrades aren't that great. There is, what, 1-2 storms? Oh no. Good EMPs. Perfect EMPs. No scan. Oh, he can EMP the DTs. Man, this game is going down to the wire. There's still some mining left here. There's 1 base mining left here. I mean, I wouldn't say that Vegetable played perfect. Or close to perfect. Or well. Or even did a lot of good moves. But then he Manamules. No. He's an idiot. What? Did he think he had won? Let's get into the mind of someone with barely double-digit IQ. What the hell was that? Did he think he won? He had to believe he'd lost, and it was like his last-ditch effort or something. So he moves in. He has what? How many scans available? 1, 2, 2. He's gonna have 3 scans. His income, actually, if he gets mining again, with this many mules, it's gonna be close to what this guy has on, 1.5 base. Probably better. So what he should do is he should scan up, and he should move into the mineral line here to stop the zealots from doing too much. 13 zealots, 3 DTs, and 5 stalkers. 8 marauders, 14 marines, 4 ghosts. If you're in the mineral line over here, there's no way in hell this force is going to be doing anything. So we see a blink into this. What is he attacking at this? And instead of scanning the DTs or EMPing the zealots and microing his army, he decides the best way to use his already quite low APM. How does this guy have 300 APM average? Like, well, his rather low APM to spend it on dropping 2 mules. How the hell is that gonna help you, dude? I even would have preferred him right-clicking the Nexus, because then he's 3 base, or well, he has 3 CC against half a mining base, and then you can pick up or something. Me and Mollo actually had the same sentiment. I typed a question mark in my head as well. Just inside my mind's eye was just a massive question mark. What's he saying here? Protoss is very broken. You are an idiot. You don't deserve this win. I outplayed you 1,000,000 times. All of that confined in 3 simple characters. That's my Mandarin is very high level. And then he still stays in. Is he gonna float his buildings? Is this actually the first floater we're gonna get? Oh man, this guy is a top lad. This guy is a bottom tier vegetable. It's like a pea or something, or a kidney bean. Yeah, these are the worst. It's not even really a vegetable, but we count them as a vegetable. What is he doing? This game went from mediocre to bad to mediocre He forgets to DG as well, man. Vegetable was proper fuming. This was beautiful. Alright, Vegetable. Let me have a quick look at your email again. Process just broken. His opening build did not work well. At least he is self-aware. But I took out Protoss third base in the mid game. Yeah, it's true. You took out the Protoss third base and you completely won the game there. You are floating 3k minerals at that point and about 800 gas while being even in supply. Against a Protoss that had 9. Actually, you were up in supply. I think you had like 106 against 92. However, the opponent produced zealots like they were free. He had like 7 zealots. And High Templars were like half. I don't actually think High Templars cast a single storm that hit. Like really, the main thing was the fight where you fought with 2-2 against 3-1. You lost your entire army for free while floating 3k. And then the game still got close afterwards. Then the Disruptor beat the crap out of me. No, he hit a single Disruptor shot on you. This is the thing. People send me these replays and they think they know the reason why they lost. They don't know the reason why they lost. The reason why I lost was A, he was floating a crap ton of money. B, he took a fight in the middle of the map that was absolutely horrendous. I'm not even quite sure how to describe that fight. Like just before like literally 10 seconds before 2-2 finishes. The one thing that Vegetable does not have is any type of timing. If I were to make a YouTube series with Vegetable, the episodes would come out slower than they currently are with Casually Explained. Like, this guy would always be too late, never on time, just not show up. This might be Casually Explained's Terrence Smurf. I think we're onto something here. I'm gonna have to send a follow-up email to my boy Vegetable just to check a couple of things. Ask some simple questions like, are you a famous YouTuber? Yeah, altogether, Vegetable, I appreciate the effort that you put in and the manner mused, even though you were losing a fight that you should have won if you just move and scan. But at the end of the day, it's very simple, my friend. High Templars didn't kill you. Disruptors didn't beat the crap out of you. No, you beat yourself by not knowing timings, not understanding how time works. That's a big mistake. And thus, you suck. And you suck very hard. Alright. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you did enjoy this episode of Is It Imba? Or Do I Suck? If you did, don't forget to leave a comment down below. Subscribe to my channel. And follow me on Patreon. Love you all. And bye bye.